The man crossed over from another world back to Earth, and the moment he landed, he saw his daughter being bullied. He was instantly furious and ran straight to find her without thinking twice. Meanwhile, his wife was trying to protect their daughter, refusing to let those people hurt her, but the enraged family had struck her with one blow, leaving her gravely injured. With her dying breath, she pushed her daughter away, telling her to run. The little girl ran out crying for help, but under the threat of a scheming woman, everyone around pretended not to see. No one dared to offend her for the sake of a child. The girl was completely desperate as she watched the woman walk closer, fear filling her eyes. Just then, a loud noise erupted from the sky. A man suddenly descended from above, landing firmly behind the girl. He looked down at his daughter, his eyes full of pain. He wanted to hug her but hesitated. He just whispered, "I'm sorry." Before the father and daughter could say anything more, the scheming woman jumped in again, trying to take the girl away. She didn't care who the man was, she demanded he hand the girl over. The man trembled with rage, and even the air around them seemed to shake. The woman stared in disbelief. She couldn't accept that this ridiculously powerful man was actually the girl's father. With a sneer, she said, She doesn't deserve to be your daughter." Before she could even finish, the man roared furiously. The roar alone made her knees buckle as she fell to the ground with a thud. The girl finally recognized him and cried out with joy, "Daddy!" Panicked, she begged him to run, afraid that woman would hurt them. The man patted her head and said softly, "Close your eyes. Daddy's gonna do a little magic trick, make all the bad guys disappear." The girl obediently closed her eyes. The woman still wouldn't give up and said smugly, "My brother's a supreme master, he'll deal with you." The man raised his hand and slapped her into ashes. Moments later, her furious brother arrived to avenge her. But before he could get close, the man waved his hand, and he too turned to dust. Everyone watching was terrified, running for their lives, afraid they'd be next. The girl opened her eyes and saw that the bad people were really gone. She quickly grabbed her father's hand and pulled him toward the room, to save her mom. But just as they entered, a group of bodyguards blocked the door and aimed their weapons. The man snorted coldly, summoned a golden arrow, and gave a short whistle. Whoosh! The arrow shot out and took down every guard in an instant. He walked to his wife's side, looked at her lifeless body, and gently told his daughter, "Don't worry, even if mommy's not breathing, your dad can bring her back." A moment later, his wife's eyes slowly opened. But when she saw him, she froze in disbelief. How was this possible? Back then, he couldn't even cure a minor illness of his own. She remembered clearly, the doctor had asked him to go pay the bill, but he never came back. He disappeared, leaving her alone to raise their daughter, suffering years of humiliation from that scheming woman's family. What she didn't know was, that day, the doctor told him there was only one herb on the highest mountain that could save her life. He left without a word, climbed cliffs, and braved death. And when he finally found the herb, a rift in time and space suddenly opened and sucked him into a cultivation world. There, he fought for thousands of years and became one of the strongest beings alive. Now, he's broken through the void itself just to come home and reunite with his wife and daughter. But his wife didn't believe a single word of it. She told him to leave and that she never wanted to see him again. Finally, after their daughter begged her over and over, she reluctantly agreed to let him stay. On one condition, they'd pretend to be a couple, and once their daughter grew up, they'd part ways for good. The man agreed immediately, anything to make up for what he owed them. Thinking about how his daughter had suffered all these years, her weak body, and his wife's inherited illness, he decided to make things right. He tore open the void again, summoned a divine dragon from the cultivation realm, and gathered rare herbs to make a magical soup himself. His wife and daughter devoured it happily, and seeing them eat with smiles warmed his heart. That meal didn't just heal their bodies, it infused them with the dragon's power, letting them ascend to a new level of strength. But after dinner, his wife pulled their daughter into the bedroom, locked the door, and left him outside to sleep on the couch. In truth, she wanted to investigate that scheming woman's family, and when she learned that the entire powerful clan had really been wiped out by a mysterious man, she started to doubt herself. Could it be everything he said was true? Still, she couldn't bring herself to believe that he could have become so powerful in just a few years. What she didn't realize was, she and their daughter were no longer ordinary people. The next morning, she woke up to find her daughter missing. Panicked, she rushed downstairs, but before she could open the door, she suddenly teleported into the living room. And when she looked up, her daughter was floating in midair, her body glowing with a mysterious light.